Welcome to Virtual Tarot, Capricorn. We are here together. That is Trudy and myself. Trudy, introduce yourself.
And I'm Trudy.
Good. We're doing the forecast for March for you, Capricorn. And I want to really welcome you, and I hope that your forecast is going to be as extraordinary as it was last month. Trudy, tell them what we do here, if you would.
Well, Capricorn, what we do here every single month is a 4-card spread. We do that for every astro sign in the universe and in the multiverse. So if you hear a few interpretations for your sign, understand that this is a broad brush, a broad stroke, I should say, for all the Capricorns out there for the month of March. So we do a 4-card spread. The first card represents the overall environment for you for the month of March. And the second card, Ava?
The second card is your challenge, the obstacle, that which you have to overcome for the month of March. And the third card is?
Challenges!
No, it's the unexpected. Unexpected.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The third card is the unexpected. Forewarned is forearmed. This is why you come to us.
That's right.
Take it away, Ava.
And, of course, the final card is the outcome, or a very important event, or that which transports you into the next month. That's it. And so,
super duper. Okay, so I'm going to make my announcement. We're going to Fashion Week. And this is before the recap for every sign. Going to Fashion Week. Somehow, some way, Ava and I got an invitation to go into the tents. Big deal. We have a couple of supermodel girlfriends. So Ava is not going. I will be there. I'll try and take you in the tents with me via live hangout. That's the promo. Okay, Ava, you want to go into last month's recap?
Absolutely. Well, last month was actually a very, very important month for our Capricorn friends, because they had 4 major arcana cards. 4 cards that, well, the major arcana are very significant cards. They're events that are of more import than the minor arcana cards are. And the very first major arcana card you received was the Hermit upright, which is a beautiful card, because having had a January that was filled with excitement and energy and work and production, you needed a rest. And so you started out the month of February. We're in February right now, right in the middle of February. So the beginning of the month is painted with this very peaceful and serene, introverted kind of mood, and seeking either your own counsel or external counsel, spiritual counsel, or counsel about what it is you need to do, how it is you need to handle any particular situation that you're in. So it's the medication card. So this is how we started the month of February. Anything to add to that, Trudy?
Yes, actually.
All right.
That is my favorite card of the major arcana, and so I would like to add that to me is the God card. And so there could have been some spiritual well, it was the environment. So the environment was colored with this desire to seek a higher spiritual plane. So we sort of moved in that direction. And what a beautiful, beautiful card to get to open the entire month. It's more of a To me, that card is more of an experience where you're experiencing this sense of almost, well, it's sanctity, or there's this kind of sacred feeling to the month, and that's the God card to me, which is the Hermit. So we're going to move into the second card, which, Ave,
Yes.
card?
It was the moon, but it was reversed. So your challenge, well, it's very interesting because your challenge, it's very much the moon card and the Hermit card are quite similar because they're both introspective cards. So it's interesting that the whole month is colored with this sort of introspection, meditation, reflection, going inside and trying to discover a more peaceful core in your being. And the moon in reverse is very much dealing with some sort of fear, dealing with maybe not being, or a fear of, well, the previous month it had been the, you had to assimilate into a structure of some sort. Whether that structure was something like school, university, government, maybe it was a wedding, the structure of a marriage. It's the fear of having to, or not being able to assimilate. And so the challenge was to reverse that and to become at one with it, at one with your new environment. And so that was my take on it. Trudy?
Well, let's switch over to the third card.
Okay.
For the recap.
Right.
Which is, Marisol, what do we have? The Magician.
Yahoo!
Thanks. Yes. So in the position of the unexpected, we have the Magician, a fabulous, fabulous card too, especially after the moon in the position of challenge. That's a great card. So if you have any concerns at all in the middle of the night about manifesting or creating magic, you're not going to have a problem with that in the month of February, and we're still in the month of February because the Magician, if you look at this card, and I'm going to switch over to the card, what you see is this gentleman with his arms extended, and on the table we have all of the elements of the tarot. We have the cups, we have the wands, we have the pentacles, and we have the swords, which basically tells us that you have mastery over all of the senses, all of the tools that you need to achieve whatever you need to achieve. Now, this in the upright is a fantastic card because it is the card of doing what is right, what is good, what is beneficial to those around you. And so I'm going to switch over to my tarot correspondent, Avananda.
All right. Well, as I think I explained in the video for February about the card. It's the masculine counterpart to the High Priestess. So a High Priestess, she is about connecting with one's intuition, one's right brain, whereas this card is about connecting to your willpower. That is, it's about manifestation. And when we manifest something, we employ our will. That is, we take our dream and we catalyze it through our will, and we then produce what it is that we want. And it's very interesting because it comes right after all this introspection and dealing with your fear and trying to conquer your fear. And then suddenly, unexpectedly, boom, you go out there and you manifest, you do. It's like an action card. It's taking action, creating. So there. And then I'll just move right into the last card, which was the Hangman.
Hanged Man.
Reversed. So I had said that it was perhaps having to be the sacrificial lamb in a certain situation, taking the blame for something, and even if you didn't do it or you don't feel it was right, just to get to the place you want to get to or to accomplish your aim, you need to take the blame. And that's what was my take on it. Trudy?
Well, I believe that this could also mean that you're not willing to sacrifice this month, because we opened, or I should say, well, this is February, so we're still in the month of February, but opening with this Hermit, there is some sense of sacrifice that's involved in stepping back from society and almost allowing yourself to become lonely and apart. And so it could have been some of that as well, an unwillingness to sacrifice the social aspect of what you do. But let's move on, because we're in the month of March. And this is a big reading. We had 4 major arcana cards, as Ava so aptly described before the reading. And so it was a strap yourself in month, girls. And so let's see. Are you ready for the month of March?
I can hardly wait.
I believe it shall be, well, I'm hoping that Capricorn, and I'm shuffling right here in the moment to everyone who's watching us. I see we have 9 viewers, I believe. A small crowd tonight, Ava.
We had technical difficulties.
Which is fine.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties yesterday, so maybe they're daunted by that.
Maybe so. However, the lucky ones who are watching tonight will be tracking your comments, and if you do have, I think Ava and I will take 10 minutes out at the end to read a one card spread, I guess, right, Ava?
Yeah, yes, for their question.
Major arcana only.
But for their question.
Correct. Okay. And here we go.
All right.
And we're off. Okay. Let's see what we have. In the first position, we have the Fool.
Oh, how wonderful.
This is the card of March. Because last night we drew this card for Gemini as well. And we spent a little bit of time talking about the Fool. And if you're not extremely familiar with the Tarot, you may not think of the Fool as the most wonderful card to draw. But this is really where it all begins. This is the 0. And it is probably, and I love the Hermit, but this is probably one of the best cards. It probably is the best card in all, I don't know if Ava agrees with me, because it's a 0, it all starts with this, right, Ava?
Yes, yes, but it will too.
So the great thing about the Fool for you this month, because based on what's been going on in the month of February, we have suddenly this wonderful sense of letting it all go and starting over. So whatever commenced last month, and it looks as if there was some commencement of some type, you are now moving into this sort of playful, lighthearted, let's take a risk sort of let's bungee jump and adventure seek time in March, which is a good time to do it, I think. Because there's not a whole lot going on in March, really. Is there? It goes in like a lion and out like a lamb.
Well,
So it's a good time to go out like the fool. So it's a good card in the position of environment. Ava?
the crocuses are blooming in March.
No, they are?
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I don't know if they're blooming right now. Have you seen the weather in the Northeast?
well, maybe not yet, but it's
There are
March.
2
we're talking
blizzards
about.
coming. Oh my gosh, after the last blizzard. But it's the Fool. So let's go back to Capricorn and the Fool. Couldn't be a better card for Capricorn.
Let me talk about it for a moment then.
Okay, I just wanted to mention one thing. Capricorn is a strategist. So this is anti-strategy. Go, Ava.
Yes, you're right. It's a card of acting on your impulse, and but it does imply for many of our Capricorns a sort of a new beginning, a kind of a renewal of self and your environment as well. So because it comes in the position of environment, so you might be actually experiencing a new environment of some sort, but there's so many beautiful ideas connected with the card because it's self-trust. It's trust in where you are at the moment, trust in your environment, trust in life, and it's having faith in yourself, faith in the moment, taking that risk, that chance. It's feeling at whatever age a sort of a youthful inspiration, a kind of fearless taking an adventure in life, however that might be. I mean, it might be expressed in the most mundane of ways in your life, by starting a new hobby or taking a trip to Africa, as wildly diverse as that. But it's doing something on the spur of the moment, doing it, following your instincts, and doing something unconventional for you, which is what Trudy said was not the typical portrait characteristics of a Capricorn. So you're going to experience something that's a little against the grain of who you are in March. There you go, Trudy.
Well, hold on. Just a second. We seem to be slowing down here. Okay. Well, the one thing that comes to mind when I see the Fool and I think of Capricorn, for some reason, is a baby learning to walk. So if you've ever had a child, or if you have a child in your life and you've watched that child learn to walk, the child doesn't question whether or not they should walk. And really, this is what this card is all about. You just do it, and you may take a tumble here and there, but that's just what you do, and there's no question about it. So that comes to mind.
All right, pure faith. I think that we need to go to the second card so that we can feel the month unfold here.
Okay, in the second position, we have the Lovers.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, they're getting so many major arcana cards. Gosh, I think that they're really going through some major things lately.
Do you want to go on the Lovers? Go, Abe.
Sure. I wasn't sure if you were going to take it or not.
Go ahead.
Well, the Lovers is probably it's a card of Gemini. For one thing, we have to really remember that, because it's duality. Geminis are emblematic of the twins, of having two sides to every story. In a mundane level, in the challenged position, it's simply that. You're challenged by your lover. I mean, it could be just as self-evident as that your lover, for some reason, may be in opposition to you expressing yourself as the fool, being spontaneous, being seeking out an adventure, doing something on impulse. And you might have to convince your lover, your other half, that is what is the best mode of action here. But it certainly seems that there's decisions about your love relationship, or about how you're going to bring your lover into the new adventure. How are you going to include him or her in this new unfolding, this new beginning, this new phase that you're going through? There's an evaluation of love and its relevance to your new phase. So Trudy, take that, and then we'll talk about it a little more.
Well, last month in this position, we did have the moon, and that's interesting because that's a very female card, and it is the card of going deep and reevaluating sort of what's happening below the surface, below the conscious, which I find very interesting because, and it's also a card of menses. We sometimes say it can point to feeling a little hormonal, maybe a little out of sorts, because we girls have our times during the month. So it's interesting that the lovers would come up in this position, and it really says that there's probably something going on with you in terms of, it feels like to me, Ava, that it might have something to do with just sort of your sexuality in general, and you might be, there may be actually something going on in terms of just your biology, you know, trying to sort of get that in line, and so that may slow you down a little bit, because the card that follows this card is the Chariot, and so this is sort of like it's always a card of decisions. So you're making a decision.
Yes, and I agree with you. It's that, but the reason that it's about decision is because there's an examination of both sides of an issue. So whether that's with your lover or just in general, you're examining both sides of something. If it's with your lover, it's having to be open and honest with them as you make evident what the problem is, from seeing it from another person's perspective or from some other perspective, and then coming to some sort of conclusion.
Right. So well, your lover is your mirror, and that's really what the lover's card is all about. That's why we have relationship, Ava, so we can have this mirror held up to us each and every single day.
Yes, but there are people who do not have lovers.
Right. Well, and there's a lot of self-reflection in the moon.
Yes, but it would have to have a more generic meaning for them as well. And that's why I sort of broadened it out, just the examination of both sides of an issue.
Well, if you go back to last month, we had the moon, and that is about reflection.
Yeah.
So perhaps the reflection has to do with your self-reflection.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or it can have to do with the beautiful mirror that your lover holds up for you each and every day.
Yes.
That's the best thing. Because the reason we're spending a whole lot of time on that, girls, is that the next card in the position of the unexpected is the Knight of Cups.
Oh, is that right? Knight
Yes,
of
it is. And isn't that interesting? Because last month was February.
Yes.
And this is March. And this looks like a love reading if you were to ask me. So what does this card mean? Wow. This card is all about the movement of love and the movement of passion. Well, and in a heartful sentiment, heartful feeling. This is the knight on the white horse. This is Cinderella's Prince Charming. And it feels very much to me like this is the month where you may experience some warm sentiment from your lover. You may notice that your lover is extending themselves maybe more than they ordinarily do. You may have a date night. You may find yourself sort of swept away by some of these gestures. And it couldn't be better because while you're deliberating and making this decision and examining your lover and the relationship, you've got this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sense of just this giving, this it's beautiful too because the way it's done from the heart. And I want to be a Capricorn, so I'm switching over to Ava.
Well, yes, I like it when you make the interpretation center around an individual, a person, which is, I mean, obviously it is a human being that we're looking at. But I prefer, because we only have 4 cards and we have literally millions of viewers, we need to kind of make it a little bit more generic. And so what I see in the unexpected is, you see, this is the card of the peacemaker, having to forgive someone to make peace, bringing in that kind of negotiation, kindness, where you are being a true friend. Sort of the, now this has many interpretations besides that, but it's creativity, it's imagination, it's even spiritual introspection, very much like the Hermit is, but on a milder level. So it's all of that. So there's a possibility that unexpectedly there's this beautiful, warm, loving energy that comes in, and either you have to bring some peace into an environment or into a situation to solve it, to resolve it, or that you are being basked in this kind of energy yourself from someone else. So it's very beautiful. In fact, this month, the Fool, the Lover, the King of Cups, this is a very beautiful month of loving energy and health and vibrant exploration of your world and of yourself, but coming to decisions and really examining things, whether it's with your lover or just in general. I think it's a beautiful month so far. Trudy. Well,
Up comes in the 4th position. I'm going to move to the 4th position because this sort of wraps up the reading and it takes us back to last month, and it sort of creates this beautiful narrative for both February and March, because we have the Minor Arcana Hermit card, the Four of Swords. And we finally have come up with a minor for you, Capricorn. After 7 majors in a row, 7 major Arcana cards in a row, we finally have a minor. And so whatever it was that you were not willing to step back from last month or this month, in the month of February, it looks as if you're going to do that of your own accord at the end of the month. So this card is the 4, and it really is all about retreat from battle and then inner reflection. So the trick is to figure out how to improve the next time you go out into the world. And how does this show itself within the reading? Well, it looks as if this month you've sort of let it all go, because the environment is the Fool, and you're starting over. Once we do this, sometimes we all of a sudden notice those around us and see them in a whole new light, and that's kind of how I see this Lover's card, this re-evaluation. And I do agree, and like what Ava said about, we're reading for the entire universe, multiverse of Capricorn, so we have to speak to those who have lovers and those who are single. And so it seems as if there's self-reflection going on, and that there's a sort of an attunement, and maybe there's some self-love that is happening as well, but it's very much internal. It's like this is a major, it feels like almost an internal seismic shift that is opening 2015 for Capricorn. And I love this card, because this card, the 4, tells me that you're coming full circle and you're really learning your lesson, whatever that may be. And we really don't know exactly what that is, but there's this pulling back at the end of the month. And I'm going to go to Ava.
Yes, I absolutely agree with you. It's a pulling back, and really, as I see it, there's a lot of beautiful energy as we open the month, a little bit of deliberation, but then again we come back to this very loving, tender, sweet, peaceful, either embodied in a person or within yourself, or having to express that or feeling that. But here, it's almost, to me, a stepping back from a troubling situation and removing, sort of creating distance between you and it, which is probably why the Fool came up. Sort of taking a risk and going out and just doing on impulse, leaving behind a situation that was troubling or difficult or in some way had disturbed you, and stepping away from that and finding sort of inner peace, because this is a card of, again, meditation. So, and literally creating a sanctuary for yourself, whether that's a physical or psychological sanctuary, so that you are not in any battle that might be going on outside of you. You're confined in a peaceful mental state, and you can, in my opinion, you can then allow the full expression, not being hampered by difficult people or situations or circumstances that might in some way have caused you angst. That's it, Trudy.
That's a really, really, and we're lagging. Hold on. I'm going to switch back to you.
All right. Yes. Sometimes we have these technical difficulties. We're learning, and please forgive us for that. We're trying our best to create these live broadcasts without any technical difficulties. But it's Trudy's the genius, the tech genius of our duo here, and I appreciate her very much.
Not so much of a genius, because it's not working. But anyway, switch back to you. So anyway, that, I believe, concludes the reading for Capricorn.
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful month for Capricorn. And
do it. Live your dream, Capricorn. Live your dream.
Oh, I'm okay. Live your dream.
Live your dream.
Hoorah!
Hoorah! Don't be afraid.
So, do you want to speak to council cards, Ave?
Oh, sure. So, at the end of these readings, what I do is I meditate on them. I allow them to, I feel them. And then I choose randomly a major arcana card, which is a card that symbolically is your conduit, is your lifeline to higher spirit, and I receive input from spirit about the 4-card spread so that you can get some further insight into the deeper meaning behind the entire forecast. So you can join for what we say is a cost of a cup of coffee. And we have, I think, archived several months back already. So it's worthwhile, and if you need extra counsel, that's a good place to go. Go ahead, Trudy.
And we also do private readings. And so if you would like a private and personal reading, and I actually had a couple of people send comments today that I answered, and they asked, how do I get a private reading? Well, it's really easy. You go to our website, virtualtarot.wordpress.com. You click on the purchase a reading page, you peruse the menu of readings, and then you choose one, pay for it, and email us at avatrudy@yahoo.com. We'll get right back with you, and you will receive a fabulous MP3 file. So, that said, Ave, are you ready? I've got Marisol over here working on comments. So this is the part where we have 22 viewers.
All right.
And we're going to spend 10 minutes answering questions with a 1-card spread. All right? So let me see. Are you ready, Ava? Do you have your cards?
I have them right here.
Okay. Let's see. We've got 22 viewers. All right.
Any questions?
One of the lucky viewers is getting a free 1-card spread. Okay. Do you have a question? Oh, Marisol's having a hard time finding the questions.
Oh.
Oh, you can't. Okay. All right. Everybody hang on. We're going to get this. Oh, no, that's all right. Okay, so this is the video. All right, so I think, hold on. I'm going to grab it. I'll grab it on my iPad here. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull up the questions on the iPad. So we need just to go to comments, right? No, we just need comments. see. How do I get to that? I'm going to go here. Okay, just give us a second here. If you log in. Oh, it's not working. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry.
Is there anything, Trudy?
We're logging in right now.
Okay.
Let me check it. Check it out.
The comments.
Yeah. It's covered.
Oh, but there's comments.
It's a little harder than I thought.
Okay, here comes the first question, Ava.
All right.
Sarah Wilkinson asks, 1 minute ago, will I get back together with Kevin?
Let's see. Well, we received justice upright. Well, justice upright. This is a card of karma. This is your karma card, which means that things, it depends on exactly what you've sown as to what you're going to reap. It is definitely, there's a karmic connection with this individual, and justice is about things turning out in the most fair manner. If you've been upright, honest, and had integrity, then yes, it would be the answer, because you will reap what you sow. Go ahead, Trudy.
Well, that sounds just about right.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's also some weighing of the evidence, and so I would say maybe investigate the situation, whatever created the separation or the breakup. Give it a good examination, a good factual examination, because I think you're still, because this card comes up, I feel as if there's still some truth that needs to be accepted, maybe, or just seen through without those emotional rose-colored glasses that you probably still have on. So maybe you need a little more time, I guess. That's what comes up for me.
Yes.
Okay, next card. Or the next card. I'm so used to saying that, Ava.
All right.
The next question. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, Sarah Banta. Okay,
All
this
right.
is for you, Sarah. Thanks, Ava and Trudy, for this reading. My question is in regards to a new relationship. Will it work out? Sarah. We are going to answer that question live and on the air right this very moment.
The Hermit came up. So the Hermit, yeah, the Hermit. Will this relationship work? Well, it's definitely it's a spiritual connection, in my estimation, and it has a good chance because as long as you can impart into the relationship some higher spiritual values, if you can come together and build your relationship on mutually, let's say, if you're on the same page spiritually, if you have the same goals spiritually, then this relationship can have a really strong and long-lasting foundation. Trudy.
Okay, Sarah. Wow. Okay, that is exactly right, Ava. Wow.
Yeah.
What a great card to come up when asking about a relationship.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe he's the Dalai Lama or Alan Watts.
He is.
The guy you're interested in. Okay,
but somebody has to lead.
Somebody has to lead. But what comes up for me is that I don't know if you guys are maybe both working in positions where you are doing something for the community, or maybe you're involved in charity work, or something that is sort of a giving back type of thing. It feels to me as if that might be the case, and if that's the case, you guys can make a major impact together, because two hermits are always better than one, and that's the first thing that just sort of came to me. And so maybe this relationship is more about getting together to give to others, and that, I don't know. Will it work out? It could work out if that's what you're into.
But I see it as that maybe they'll be teaching one another things as well.
Could be.
Yeah, like deeper counseling going on.
Yeah, I'm just feeling this. This is just,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm just feeling that you guys are both sort of on the same page when it comes to how you want to live your lives and what sort of experience you want to have. Well, you know, that's kind of what's coming up for me. And it's mutual. So it could work out, yes. That's, yes, is the answer, right, Ava?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And one more?
Yes, we're going to take a break after this.
Yes.
I'm going to try and pull up one of the earlier, well, let's see. Okay. Well, there's a compliment for you. Someone likes you here.
Oh, well, that's sweet. It's my white outfit.
Yes. Oh boy, come on, come on. Oh, here we have one. You want to read it for me, Marisol?
Okay. Should I stay at my current job or try to find something?
And who is it?
Aching Love. It's the first one.
Oh, gotcha.
I couldn't hear it.
Okay, Marisol just pulled one up. Akon Love. Should I stay at my current job or try to find something else or go back to school? Okay, so you got that, Ava? Should I stay at my current job, try to find something else, or go back to school?
Well.
Or try to do both? That's like 5 questions. Okay. Okay, Ava, switching over to you.
The Tower. She got the Tower upright. So that means that whatever you do, you've got to do things differently, because the way you've been doing what you've been doing is not really going to be able to sustain you. So you really have to do something absolutely different. This is like sudden, irrevocable change and forceful change. It's like you have to literally remove the foundation, your foundation, and try something else completely different. I don't know how that will be applied in your particular question, but it does mean that the structure you've been building has a weak foundation and should literally be removed, so that you can clear clear your life of that which doesn't serve you anymore, and go ahead and do something absolutely different. There you go. A little radical.
Well, the question was, should I do it all at the same time, or should I do this, or should I do that, or should I do that?
Whatever she does, do something different. I'm not going to tell her that she should do A, B, or C. She's got to do something completely different.
Right. Well, it looks. Well, I was going to say, I feel like what's going on is that she's melting down right now. It feels a little bit like you might be melting down because the rug has been pulled out from underneath you a little bit. So yeah. I would focus and clean up whatever it is that needs to be cleaned up, and that's really coming up for me, which means, I don't know, do you need to rewrite your resume? Do you need to work on getting some courses out of the way so that you can organize yourself? It just feels very disorganized right now, that's all.
Yeah, yeah. She needs to get rid of everything that isn't working, and immediately after that, create some definite focus in her life. The star comes right after the Tower, and so she has to make her go down deep and find those hidden talents and believe in herself.
Right, right. And there you go. So yeah. We are going to take a break.
Yes, we are.
And log back on in another 15 minutes.
All right.
We'll be doing Virgo.
Okay, Virgo. Got it.